Next, let's talk about that foundation repair contractor. Because you can get a wide variety. Like I said, if you have damage to a house, it could be $10,000, it could be $100,000, it could be more. The point of that is, because those opinions are so spread out and so dispersed, you need to have a few different ones. And probably what you're looking for is for two of them to agree. In other words, yes, the foundation's damaged. There's a horizontal crack, as an example. There's a horizontal crack in the basement, or there's a horizontal crack in the foundation in the crawl space. Can you tell me what that means? Tell me what it is, and tell me how much it would cost to fix it. And ask all the questions you feel like asking of the contractor. Don't let them leave there without feeling like you have a handle on what's going on. If a foundation repair contractor comes in and spends 15 minutes and says, this is what you need, that doesn't do you any good, because you need the education. So suck information out of them. Have them spend an hour at least with you talking through the options. And then, of course, that'll give you a good idea as to who you'd probably want to hire to do the work. Don't go with chucking a truck. I know I've said this before. Don't call the local handyman. Don't look in the thumbtack ads and see, oh yeah, I've worked on foundations. And if that sort of a person does come and you're sitting with them, make sure you ask them, how many foundations have you worked on? What did the work entail? Because you need to flush out that kind of person and get rid of them. Tell them, thank you very much for coming in the first 10 minutes, and say, I'm sorry, I don't think you're the right fit for us. Go on to the next one. You need a foundation repair specialist. Okay? Next. Now that you've gotten a couple of opinions from foundation repair contractors, you're still under contract now. You have this period of time where you can do your inspections, and now you may still be confused, and maybe the costs are substantial. Let's say you're talking about $40,000, $50,000, and could you get you've talked to your realtor and asked, do you think you could get a reduction in the costs of the house by that much? That's fairly substantial. Or maybe it's even more than that. Or maybe it's only $10,000, but you've already negotiated them down the best you can because it's a starter house or something like that. Well, if it is a larger amount, you may want to have a structural engineer come and give an assessment. And that's going to cost you. There isn't a structural engineer who will do that for free. So you ought to expect, depending on what part of the country you live in or in what country you're in, that there's going to be an inspection fee of anywhere from $600 to $1,000 for them to give you an opinion. And that may just be a verbal opinion. If you want something on paper, it might cost you another $300, $400. You just have to expect that. So by now, you're probably pretty serious about this house. You love it, or it checks all the boxes. It's got enough bedrooms for the kids. It's a great starter house, but maybe you're not going to keep it for 10 years, but you're worried if you don't have the foundation repaired that the next person is going to sting you for it. So bring a structural engineer. You don't need more than one. You just need a structural engineer and ask them what they think should be done for this house. Now, most of the time, a structural engineer's first approach is to say, well, you probably ought to just watch it and see what happens with the house in the next 3 to 5 years. Well, you know what? That doesn't help you a single bit, does it? Because all that means is that then you would be kicking the can down the road to the next person who owns the house. And guess what? It's like a hot potato. If you don't fix it, that hot potato gets tossed down to the next guy and the next guy and the next guy. Somebody ends up with it and has to fix it. So think of that when you're talking with a structural engineer and ask them, no, specifically, what would you do? What would you do right now? Okay, so the wall is bowing, or that corner of the house is settling. What would be your optimal repair for that? Should you pier it? Do you think you'll never have to do anything, but it's just normal, natural settlement? You need to flush that out with the structural engineer, and that is why you're paying him. So that's another expert you might use, but not necessarily need to use. So next step. Another tip. Now you've got the right realtor, you found the right house, you've had a foundation repair contractor out to look at it, you've got a few opinions there, and maybe you've even had an engineer come out and give you their opinion. So what's next? Well, there's a little bit of guesswork in this because the engineer will likely not look at what you've been given by the foundation repair contractors and say, oh, I would choose this one. This is the place where, you might want Foundation Repair Academy or me or someone else to step in and say, hey, this is what I would do for my house. If it were my own house, this is the repairs I would do, and here's when I would do them. Again, it's just an opinion, but it's an informed opinion. So this is back on you now. You're still in the period. You're still under contract with the house. Now you're nervous. You've got a bunch of opinions. What do? Well, you do have to just sit down and do pluses and minuses on that, and then once you've decided to buy the house, then after closing, you can either accept one of the opinions that you've received from the foundation repair contractor, or you can have an engineer write up a repair plan. That would cost more. It's likely not needed then unless it's quite a serious issue. And that would be those next steps.